Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a 100-mile review of the Mizuno Neo Vista. So this is Mizuno's first true super trainer to hit the market. It challenged me because I thought that this was a PIBA-based foam. It's actually an EVA-based foam, and had me reassess what my definition of a super shoe and a super trainer is. But it's definitely in that realm with a maximal stack height, unique upper, some very tall and unique geometry, and that full-length plate here, not carbon. That's been a really fun shoe to get miles on. I did hit 100 miles not too long ago. I'm actually at 115 right now. It's been a really great shoe. But what I want to update you with is how it evolved over that time. For those of you that are interested, asking, what's the durability like? Does the ride change? How does the fit change? All that stuff I'm going to go into today. Let's first talk about specs first, about what qualifies it for some of the things that we've talked about. So men's size 9 comes in at 9.4 ounces, or about 266 grams. Women's size 8 comes in at 7.8 ounces, or about 221 grams. Stack height is 44.5 in the heel, 36.5 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop, which is unique for Mizuno, a little lower, though they keep doing that stuff. It has a full-length midsole foam of Energy NXT. It's got a full knit upper, full-length plate underfoot that kind of adds not so much stiffness, but adds a little bit of the cushioning. But let's start off with the ride. So the ride, very rockered sole, very soft midsole foam underfoot. It had a ton of resiliency underfoot, meaning there was a lot of bounce underfoot. When I first tried this on, I was like, wow, this is a true super shoe, super racer, or not racer, super trainer. But I think a lot of people that maybe don't do as well with really stiff, aggressive super shoes might do well with this as an alternative, like people that maybe mid-pack runners or people that don't do well with the super stiff plates. This actually might be a great alternative if you're someone that's also like racing in something like the Super Blast, but wanted something a little bit softer. So I really enjoyed it. I did workouts initially. Over time, the ride has stayed similar in regards to the fact that it's still super rockered, really smooth. That just small bit of flexibility despite the plate is a welcome difference from a lot of other shoes, just because it just makes it feel a little bit more natural. As when you transition out of this to something else, it's not as weird other than the soft cushioning, just because the plate's not as stiff. So it feels a little bit more natural, and that's gotten better as there's just been a little more flexibility. The thing that's definitely changed, though, has been the resiliency. So while there was a ton of bounce initially, and I found this shoe great for long runs, for easy runs, for workouts, that's workout bounce has definitely changed. The foam has softened more and more and has lost that extra bounce. It's still a soft midsole, still bouncy, but it now feels more cushioned than it does feeling resilient. So I can use this shoe still for long runs and easy runs. I can't use it as much for workouts anymore because the midsole foam just doesn't have as much bounce anymore. Please remember, I'm really hard on shoes, so some of that might be me wearing this thing out quickly, but know that that bounce will change and it will become softer as you continue to run in it, and it'll be less bouncy and more trainer-esque than faster-esque. Still a great shoe, just getting softer. On that note, in terms of stability, it's actually fairly has decent guidance, but it's not a stable shoe. And for that reason, as it's gotten softer, my hip muscles have had to work a little harder. Ankle-wise is mostly fine. There are mild sidewalls in the heel, and I've actually felt these more as I've started to compress the sole. And the other thing, that forefoot guidance that we talked about in the original view, I definitely feel this in a positive way. People that need a little bit of medial forefoot guidance, this is actually a really solid shoe as long as you need a mild amount, not too much. But if you're someone that doesn't do super well with like aggressive sidewalls or poser things like this actually works well. And I have not gotten bothered by this central groove here, which actually kept things fairly straightforward and centered, which is actually really nice. Again, if you need specific support in the arch, this is not going to be enough. If you need more aggressive methods, it's not going to be enough. For those with mild stability needs, it's actually going to do really, really well. For those more moderate, higher, you're probably not going to do as well because the softer foam is going to get to you a little bit, and the methods aren't extreme. They're a little bit, and they do a good job, and they've maintained over that. So I haven't had an issue with that other than just dealing with the normal softening of the sole. The upper is gotten better, in my opinion, as I've run in it. It does still have a kind of fairly normal with fit. The upper, it stretches, especially a little height-wise. So those people that need a little volume in this shoe, it gets better. So and there's initially good, but then it kind of stretches really nicely to my foot. So by this time, after this, it feels really nice to my foot in here. This part is not bothering me anymore. I mentioned in the original review that this little piece right here where it comes in was kind of putting excessive pressure on the back of my ankle. That's smoothed out. I would still not wear this shoe sockless, but and still wear taller socks. But it's absolutely fine. Haven't gotten any blistering from that. So know that it might cause just a little irritation, but that goes away. And the other issue I had is where the Mizuno logo is, the bird logo. I was getting a lot of pressure on my lateral toe. The first probably 40, 50 miles, that's gone away. The upper is stretched nicely. It's adapted to my foot really, really well. And when I put this on, it's an extremely comfortable fit. So while sole kind of softens and loses a little bit of that kind of nice bounce at the beginning, the upper definitely gets better with wear. And I have not had any durability issues with this thing, despite the like pretty intense efforts I've used it for. And it's been really good. Other nice thing, if you don't like heel counters, there's not really a heel counter here. So you're going to probably do pretty well on it. And it's been really, really good in that manner. Final piece to talk about has been durability. So this is my left side, and the reason I'm using the left side is because this is where I tend to land hardest. And yes, at 150 miles, I have started to chew through the sole. It's totally fair. I do this, but it's not as bad as a lot of other shoes where I kind of wear it. I would still give this fairly average to maybe slightly above average durability, but overall, it's actually going to last really well as long as you use it on smooth surfaces. The traction isn't that great. Even when wet, it slips a little bit. So make sure you keep this to dry road. So if you want a super trainer, a really soft shoe, it's one of the softer shoes that I felt in the super trainer realm, that has a ton of bounce initially, or if you're someone that wants to kind of use it more for like maybe up tempo runs or mostly normal runs, this is a great option for you to have a little versatility. I think a lot of people might really enjoy this as a marathon racer for people that can't tolerate maybe the more aggressive super shoes out there. And for people that just want really soft, bouncy, comfortable rolling shoe to get them through the mileage, this is actually a really, really good option. I've liked it. Upper fit, again, there's a little bit more room. People with the widest feet might not do well, but normal width, needing a little extra volume, it's going to do really well. So Mizuno, I'm overall really impressed. 180 bucks, I think, is a great deal for this shoe, especially with stuff getting in the 200 plus range. I think if this fits what you're looking for, I think this might be a really good option for you to consider. And it's stayed consistent. It's gotten more into that training type shoe as the miles have packed on. But overall, it's really good. I'm impressed. I'm also really excited because this foam is going to be showing up in Mizuno's other normal training shoes. So super excited to see how that goes. You have to check back soon. We're hoping to get those. But as always, hope this helped you make a decision about this shoe, whether it is appropriate or is not appropriate for you. If you tried it, let me know. What do you think? How many miles are you getting? Are you seeing the same durability issues, at least like kind of on the sole? Has it been fine? How's the midsole foam feel as you've worn it in more? I'm just curious as always because I want to know what things happen to you, just as I share what things are happening to me.